Love Beyond Betrayal, written by KW, based on a real-life story. Chapter 1. Cassie lay asleep in the dimly lit hotel room, her chest rising and falling in rhythmic patterns. The soft glow of the bedside lamp cast gentle shadows across her features, accentuating the lines of exhaustion etched upon her face. The soft hum of the air conditioner provided a gentle lullaby. Beside her, Liam slumbered soundly, his small frame nestled against her side. A sudden jolt shattered the tranquility of the night, as Cassie was rudely awakened by the harsh glare of the overhead lights. Blinking away the remnants of sleep, she found herself staring into the accusing eyes of her husband, Derek, who loomed over her with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine, her heart quickening with apprehension. Derek? Cassie's voice trembled with uncertainty as she struggled to make sense of the scene unfolding before her. Her husband, whom she hadn't seen in months, stood before her, his expression hardened by an unfamiliar resolve. Derek crossed the room yelling, his footsteps echoing ominously against the cold tile floor. Cassie watched in silent dread as he reached for her phone, his fingers fumbling with the device in a desperate search for answers. "What's wrong?" Cassie's voice wavered with a mix of fear and confusion, her hands trembling as she reached out in a futile attempt to touch him. She watched him sift through her personal messages and photos, her heart sinking with each passing second. Ignoring her question, Derek's eyes narrowed with accusation as he unearthed a string of innocuous conversations, twisted by his paranoia into evidence of betrayal. With a sudden ferocity, he rounded on her, his voice a venomous hiss in the stillness of the night, a cacophony of disapproval from the neighboring guests who were roused from their slumber by the commotion as the confrontation escalated. The realization of their audience only fueled Derek's rage, his words laced with venomous spite.
"You've been cheating on me. How could you do this to me, Cassie?"
Derek's words were laced with bitterness and betrayal, his accusations cutting through the fragile veneer of their crumbling marriage. Cassie's heart shattered in the wake of his accusations, her mind reeling with disbelief. She pleaded for understanding, for a chance to explain. Tears welled in her eyes as Derek's accusations cut deep, slicing through the fragile fabric of trust that had once bound them together. She searched his eyes for a glimmer of understanding, but found only betrayal reflected back at her. "I didn't cheat, Derek!" Cassie's voice quivered with emotion, her words barely audible over the chaos surrounding them. "I would never betray you." Drowned out by the roar of anger and accusation that filled the room. In a moment of desperation, Cassie reached out to him, her hand trembling as she pleaded for him to listen, to see the truth that lay hidden beneath the surface. But Derek was already slipping away, consumed by the darkness of his own insecurities. Her pleas fell on deaf ears as Derek continued his relentless pursuit of perceived betrayal, his accusations slicing through the silence like a jagged blade. The room seemed to pulsate with the weight of his anger, the air thick with unspoken tension.
"You're a loser. You're nothing but a cheating whore."
Derek's voice echoed through the room, each word a searing indictment of Cassie's character. Tears welled in Cassie's eyes as she recoiled from the verbal assault, the sting of his words cutting deeper than any physical blow. The accusations rang hollow in her ears, a cruel distortion of the truth that tore at the fragile threads of her sanity. Desperate to escape the suffocating confines of the hotel room, Cassie stumbled towards the door, her heart heavy with the weight of betrayal. But before she could make her escape, Derek's final words pierced through the silence like a dagger to the heart.
"That's why your pussy is so big, isn't it? Because you've been sleeping around behind my back."
The words hung in the air like a toxic cloud, poisoning the very essence of their fractured relationship. In that moment, Cassie felt a part of her soul wither and die, the tendrils of despair wrapping around her like a suffocating embrace. Because she knew she was only filled with excitement and anticipation as she looked forward to making love to her husband after such a long time, causing her to become aroused. With a final curse, Derek called for the driver to take Cassie back to her home, his words ringing in her ears like a death knell. As she fled the suffocating confines of the hotel room, Cassie felt the weight of betrayal settle upon her shoulders like a heavy burden, the echoes of Derek's accusations haunting her every step. As she gathered Liam into her arms, his innocent slumber a stark contrast to the chaos that had engulfed their lives, she vowed to shield him from the pain of their fractured family and rebuild their shattered lives from the ashes of their broken dreams. Stay tuned. This is just the beginning.